Welcome to Red and April Off Grid. This is another installment from our Looking Back series. I'm planning to post these on Wednesday morning until we get caught up to the start of the house build. It is an edited compilation of 3 of my video blogs from March and April of last year. It covers the story of selling our house and getting ready to move, and some clips from the last couple of trips before we made the final move from West Texas to Southern Arizona. We are currently living in West Texas, but are getting ready to move out to our off-the-grid land in Southern Arizona. This is a quick update on what has been going on with us. Be sure to keep watching for our latest and most exciting news yet. March 5th, 2021 was my last day of work. I will really miss all of the sweet people I've been working with, but I needed to get our house ready to put on the market. Working trips to Arizona and making YouTube videos has been keeping me really busy. Our daughter and son-in-law and my mom wanted to come help us get the house ready to sell. Our daughter and son-in-law raked the front and backyard and cleaned and oiled all of the cabinets. My mom took down pictures, scrubbed, packed, and organized. We also moved everything that wasn't necessary for staging into the garage, cleaned all of the windows and doors, did a little paint touch-up, and took a huge load of stuff to the thrift store. Meanwhile, Red was replacing faucets, making small repairs, and working on a car for our youngest daughter. My mom and I worked almost non-stop, and in 5 days we had the house cleaned, staged, and listed with a realtor. The realtor said it was pretty much the cleanest house he had ever listed. He also said there are a lot of homes on the market in our area, but was optimistic that our house would get some interest since it is in the lower price range for our area, has a bonus shop, and 4 bedrooms. It was amazing to have our house on the market, but in this market it would likely take several months to sell. Our house was only on the market for 6 days, and if all goes well, the buyer wants to close in just 30 days. The house and termite inspection are already complete. We're trying to get as much stuff packed up as we can. We've got everything pulled out of the attic, and we'll see how much of this stuff fits in the trailer. So we were planning on leaving today, but then we saw a big dust storm was supposed to hit in the afternoon, so we're having to wait until tomorrow. Trying to get everything packed up, and we'll see how much we're able to bring with us on this trip. So we got a bunch of the stuff out of the garage here. Not a whole lot left. There's a lot of, that's mostly just a big pile of boxes. And we got the trailer loaded up here. We're gonna pull it around and go get some more Red stuff out of the shop, and then we'll head on out. We're about to get everything loaded up. We're going to put a bunch of these wedges in that cage. It's a beautiful morning here in Arizona. We got here at about 2 o'clock last night. And we've got our work cut out for us today, getting this all unloaded and figuring out where to put it in the shipping containers. We had quite a bit of stuff in the excursion last night, so we had to get that all emptied out and get our beds brought in before we could go to bed last night. Finally up and ready to get going. It's supposed to be a cold and windy day out here. The first thing we need to do today is get this all organized better so we can start piling everything in here to figure out where we want to put stuff and then have a lot of storage. So it's kind of a disaster area in here right now. I got the shipping container all set up in here. Gonna have stuff stacked pretty high on one side, and then I'm going to try to keep this side pretty clear. We got a recliner in here, so we've got a nice place to relax. Red is getting the vents put in. He's already got all these upper vents And he just needs to put in the lower ones after we eat lunch. He said he was dreading doing that, but it's going well, so. Here is the inside of our new trailer. Just had to drive about 30 minutes. It'll work out really nice for us. So it's kind of a hall bathroom. Just need to get a new futon mattress and big roomy living room. We have room to walk through along the side there, and then it's got a lot of room across the top. April 7th. I just thought I'd show y'all the RV. I got it all cleaned up. We just got here Monday night. Brought another load with us, and it was the first night to be able to sleep in here. So nice to have it all set up and quite a bit of stuff moved in. Right there is where one of the kids will sleep when they're here with us. It's got a futon and then just 2 seats to the table. There's a couple more closets with places for hanging clothes. It's a 32-foot 2006 travel trailer, and I think it'll work out really well for us. It was really well cared for. We hope to just be here for about a year, so we'll see how that goes, see how long it takes us to get our house built. Red's over there working on the solar right now. So right across is a shipping container, and we won't have to keep all of our stuff in here, which is nice. It can be stored out in the shipping container, and I'll show y'all a tour of that next. So I'm heading across to the shipping container.
I'm using this crimping tool, hydraulic crimping tool, to crimp on these higher heavy gauge wires.
We have a nice big walkway in here, so we've got one more load of stuff to bring over. Try to stack it pretty high, leave room in the middle, but it all fit really well, and I think we'll have room for the rest of our stuff. We should just have one more load. Good morning, y'all. Today is Saturday, April 10th. I'm about to go take a walk to the wash to get my game camera and see if we got anything on there. So we decided that futon was way too uncomfortable, so we brought our recliner in here. But got a lot of stuff set up in here. So he has most of them up, but just has about 3 more to put up today. Camper is a great place where he can reach to put the bolts through. So I'm planning to plant my garden on this side of the container, so the gutters will lead into some kind of water catchment that we can use to water some of the garden. I plan to build a fence, kind of a squarish fence around the garden area, to keep out all the rabbits and deer and stuff like that. And then from here, Our house side is right down there. So I'm going to walk down to the wash and get my game cam, and I'll walk down there and show y'all a little bit more of the wash. They like to come visit us in the morning when they let them out. Oh, here they come. Here's one of the piles of fencing that I removed. There was a fence kind of going across the property here, across the berm, probably to keep the cattle out of the wash. But from what we understand, this property was a cattle ranch years ago. I'm really curious to learn more about the history of it. Heading down to the wash, and I'll go grab the camera. And so I got the game camera off of the tree there, and I'm going to walk down the wash a little more. Down here is kind of my favorite spot. Lots of roots hanging down, which is pretty cool, and then just seeing the sun come through here in the morning. Keep an eye out for snakes. Some of these trees that look like they're just about to fall in. We plan to be here for just a few more days, and then we're heading back to Texas to get our last load and hopefully close on our home sale. Shipping containers are working out awesome. Just give us a great place to put all of our stuff, and it's a nice shaded work area. Some people seem to think we're building our house under these, but no, they're just for storage and shade and kind of a nice workspace and a good place to mount our solar panels. These rails have been super nice and easy to install, and just making good progress on the place. We're trying to keep pretty minimal and not collect a whole bunch of stuff. Well, we didn't catch anything at all on the game camera. It's kind of cool that it tells you the temperature and the time and the date.